This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back, and more news now from today's House session. Transport and Local Government Minister Frankie Campbell rising to refute what he termed misinformation being carried by social media. This past weekend, police officials alerted the public to a barge running ashore near Grays, Long Island. That barge was carrying specific items from the United States to Anguilla affected by Hurricane Irma. Now, as far as Minister Campbell was concerned, the matter was under control up until Monday night. However, sometime during last evening and this morning, weather conditions worsened, causing this.
The cargo that was on the barge is now in the water in Long Island, and there is indication that there might be some diesel that was in containers on the barge now in the water. But I want to inform the House and those listening that all the relevant authorities met this morning, and they are now en route to Long Island to join in with the locals who have already started to take some remediation action. And we're satisfied that the matter is being addressed, and we await the reports from the environmentalists and the individuals from the Port Department who've all gone to lend their assistance.
Well, opposition leader Philip Davis says he thinks a concern was sparked based on the fact that many felt there was a lack of response by the government on the matter. In other news today, the promise of lower power bills is one BPL customers have heard one too many times before. And in the face of power dips and still too high electricity bills, many will tell you the prospect of this actually happening is unlikely. Still, company officials are hoping this promise translates into reality within the coming months. Our Anike Archer has the story.
She skimmed on the details, but BPL Chairman Darnell Osborne assures that as soon as the financing's in place, there will be a winter overhaul of BPL's equipment that will hopefully lead to improvements by next summer, in hopes of seeing improvements by next summer.
The board has agreed and approved to have a Canadian company come in and do an assessment of the equipment and the needs, and they should be on the ground next month, and a report should be in our hands by December and January for start of implementing whatever recommendations they will make.
That Canadian company is Sancon. Now, here's the plan during the actual overhaul.
Obviously, summer's peak in this region, and so we typically want to get all of the maintenance work done in the off season, which is typically from November time all the way to April. And so during that time, we take the majority of the engines or the assets out of service, and we do annual maintenance on them, which typically requires a complete strip down of the assets and a rebuild of the assets.
That was BPL's new Chief Executive Officer, Whitney Hasty, who brings with him 20 years of experience in design, operation, and the enhancement of industrial facilities. He and fellow Bahamian Christina Alston have been appointed to lead the beleaguered utility giant. Mrs. Alston, an award-winning electrical engineer with over 25 years in the electric utility sector, has been appointed BPL's Chief Operating Officer.
The board was looking forward to attracting Bahamians who have gained a lot of international experience in best practices and utility companies. We're quite pleased that we found these two individuals. We believe that we have the team that will turn this company and turn the country around in the sense of the cost of energy, which is killing everyone. It's best going forward to allow the Bahamian team to try and fix our company.
Both of our appointees are Bahamians, and the board feels gratified in fulfilling that aspect of its promised mandate, and we will continue to look to fulfill the necessary positions with Bahamians.
BPL's new leadership team follows Power Secure's firing some weeks back. The U.S.-based company held a 5-year operating agreement with BPL. That agreement was signed in early 2016. For JCA News, I'm Anike Archer.
Well, not all the young men of the country are lost in the world of guns, gangs, and violence. As a group that calls themselves the Supercuts Group, associated with the barbershop Supercuts on Nassau Street, they want to spread positive vibes throughout the communities, and they're doing this through catering to senior citizens. In a number of homes throughout the island, Calvin Higgs, a patron of Supercuts, explained the annual event.
It's the third annual Supercuts Senior Citizens Day. It's an event where we just go to senior citizens' home, different areas like Fox Hill, Yellow Elder, East Street area, and we try to get as much senior citizens as possible to bring them down, to get their haircuts, you know what I mean, feed them, give them some, you know what I mean, some quality time, good music, and try and have them enjoy themselves. So this year was the first year we also had a jungle rush out that they enjoyed, and it's just an opportunity to give back and something to feel good about.
Tarico Major, another patron of the barbershop and the designated driver of the seniors, sent a message to the young men of the country.
I want to hit the ground running and let this be an example for each and every young man who's growing up in this Bahamas. So now, put the gun down, put the knife down, and let's join hands in unity and let's bring change to the Bahamas. Let's try and take the Bahamas to where it needs to be. Let's get back to basic and let's try to turn this country around and for our young men to be stronger and stronger each day. What we do, we put the word out there. We have a men's group that we've been holding now for about 5 years. And basically we started it in 2015 and we said, it was a vision at first and then we made it reality. And, once you do something positive, a lot of people tend to jump in and once all hands are on deck, we can make anything possible. We just want to spread positivity around the nation. We want to, spread the love, the peace and love all over the nation and show that, black men can make it in life. And once we come together, we can make history in this Bahama land.
The group catered to seniors from Unity House, the Yellow Elder Senior Citizens Home, the Good Samaritan Senior Citizens Home, and many others. We have a look at sports and weather when we return.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.